I love that we have people from other countries joining us. We're coming together. They still practice this breath work with large groups of people in multiple countries around the world. So to get started, I found this, something that Dingle wrote that is really, I just love the way he writes. He, in the 1920s, the wording was a little bit different, but this is called the light within us. So we have learned that the light, the force, the power, the expression, the essentiality is within us. This is the greatest secret, and one which seems to be the hardest for the human to grasp. Within us. It's nowhere else. We've learned that the light can only shine through a perfect lamp, and we have learned how to keep the lamp, our body, perfect. So dwell on the affirmation of on my whole body, which comes after the inspirational breath. We've also learned that the light shines of itself. This beautiful truth that all light shines of itself has been a great comfort to this teacher in his ascent to the heights. I have often given thanks that I have not had to find out how the light shines, for I would have failed to find out how. I have always rested in the truth that, as I learn to relax into it, I see it shining. And the more I relax into it, watching it humbly, the more I become of it, the more it shines. And this simply cannot be explained. It has to be learned by each of us for ourselves. But when we learn it, we find that the light is perfection. So that to find perfection, all that we have to do is reverently watch that we may find the light. Simple as it may seem, this is all locked up. It is the secret that is locked up in every living thing. And it is the only secret. So he says, whatever the creator is, we are that in human form, differentiated from all other life forms in this universe, right? We are the creator in human form. So our thoughts, our words are very powerful. They're going out into the universe, creating something. So it behooves us to be very mindful of those things that we're creating. And one other thing I wanted to read to you this morning are called the 9 positives of the Science of Mental Physics. Let me see what I did with those. The 9 positives are: I am whole, I am perfect, I am strong, I am powerful, I am harmonious, I am loving, I am rich, I am young, and I am happy. So, as we build into our consciousness those things that we declare, those things become who we are. When we say I am, whatever we say after that, we are declaring as the creator, that is who we are. We become that in that moment, the now moment, that the only moment when life is happening. So as we're here together right now, let's just close our eyes, take a big deep breath in through the nose, exhaling with a sigh. And now just go into the silence of your own being, completely at peace, with an open mind and an open heart. Let's just feel our at one-ment with each other and with life itself. May we surrender in this moment to the holy wisdom of God. And even though you're hearing my voice, feel, since mental physics is a science of feeling, feel that you are listening to your own higher self, your own consciousness. I am whole. Nothing is lacking. Nothing can be added. I am perfect. As the Father in heaven within me is perfect. I am strong. Into my consciousness there comes a feeling of strength, wondrous, glorious, vivacious, vibrant strength. I know that I am strong. I am powerful. I know that the divine power within me is directed and controlled by divine wisdom within, and I am powerful. I am loving. I feel that I am moving in that substance of which the universe is made. I am loving. I am love moving. I am harmonious. I feel the harmony of that which is the divine spirit within me. I am in balance, poise, equilibrium. I am harmonious. I am rich. I draw my supply from the source of all supply, the universal supply. I am rich. I am young. I am life's first reflection. I am the changeless, ever the same, eternal youth. I am young. I am happy, feeling that the creative spirit, the creative word spoken has now come into expression in my own life. I am happy and I give thanks. And now we take a big deep breath in and let it out with a sigh, and we'll come together for the prayer to begin our class. Dear God, we just give thanks for this opportunity to be together in this new way here today. Almighty God, eternal fount of wisdom, please grant us all knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, that we speak here words of truth, love, and hope. We ask for light from the higher spheres, and may our guides guard and control our mind and tongue so that nothing but the truth may here be given, and that the good seed sown may find fertile spots to live and grow. And those who are now in darkness and obscurity, may they be brought forth into the radiant sunshine and the joyous glory of the unfoldment of true spiritual goodness. And now, with our imagination, we imagine a great wall of golden light about us. Nothing can penetrate or pierce this light, as it holds us all protectingly in its own essence. Above us, the higher ones in the great hierarchy of universal wisdom, holding over us that gossamer substance that forms a panoply under which we all rest together in the great peace. Within this circle, there is wisdom, and below the circle, there is love. God is love. Take another deep breath in through your nose, nice and slow and gentle, all the way into the belly. And exhaling gently. Just sit for a minute, feeling after these words. Okay, welcome back. Welcome. There's a few pointers to go over. We have some new students and some that have been practicing for a while, so I'll just go over all the pointers. When we're breathing in mental physics, we're always breathing in through the nose. You might want to take a minute to go get a Kleenex and blow your nose, because the first two breaths we're going to do require clean nostrils, unobstructed nasal passages. Dingle actually talks about that your nasal passages should always be clear, and also your feet should be free of any calluses or things or cracks or things like that. So those two things are very important. I love doing a neti. If you guys have ever done a neti before I do my breathwork practice, that's always really helpful. It's just running salt water through each nostril to clean out the nasal passages. So we breathe in through the nose. breathe like a baby breathes, a big deep belly breath in where your belly comes all the way out, and then we breathe into the middle chest all the way up into the throat, and then Dingle May or myself will say big sniff at the top. So you're just filling your lungs as full as they possibly can be when you're doing each of these breaths. So this breath work activates the entire endocrine system, all the hormones of the body. It also will enhance your creative powers, develop inner wisdom, enhance your connection to source within yourself. It just has so many benefits I can't even begin to say. The other thing is the secret switch, which is placing the tongue behind the back of the two front teeth. This activates an electrical circuit in the body. Speaking of activating the circuits, when you're sitting, if you're not sitting in the sevenfold lotus position, you'll want to sit with your heels touching, just kind of like that. Can't see my feet right now, but your heels want to be touching to create that sevenfold connection. Before each breath, I'll say first the thought, and that is just to have complete reverence and gratitude for the breath of life, the breath that gives us life. And so I'll prompt you on each of these things before. And then there's, at the end, you might hear myself or Dingle May say, lock it up. And that just means swallow. So after you've done this breath work, you've retained your breath, you've breathed as much oxygen and prana into your body as you can. You just want to sit and watch and feel after the breath. So the science of mental physics is a science of feeling. It's science and spirituality connecting. So you want to, when you're holding your breath, and when you're exhaling, just observe inside your body what is happening with that breath. What's going on with that? All of that energy that you've just brought into your body temple. So there is, many of you know that you might have heard the word prana or chi. There is a force in the air that exists in the air, but it isn't the air. And that in Sanskrit is called prana. So in the study of mental physics, one of the things that we're doing is generating prana, bringing prana that exists in the oxygen, in the air, to activate and fine tune our nervous system. So when we're breathing in the oxygen in the air, it's actually working to help our circulatory system, which is coming in through the left nostril of the body. It corresponds to the blood. And then the right nostril of the body corresponds to the nervous system. So the body can use both oxygen and this prana, life force energy, or God source energy that we utilize. And what the ancient masters and the monks and everyone figured out is that we can actually store this up in our body to use for the future. So this is some powerful work that we're doing. This, when you have extra prana in your body and you're just storing it up, you can use it for just health and wellness and really amazing feats like these monks do. Okay, so to get started, we're going to do this. The first breath is called the balancing breath or the harmonic breath, which in many yoga traditions is just known as alternate nostril breathing. And as the nostrils alternate during the day, like every couple hours, one might get a little larger than the other and a little smaller. Like I said, when you're breathing in through the left, if your left nostril is larger, you're getting more air, more energy into your left side, which is the circulatory system, which could make you feel a little more lethargic. And if you're breathing in more energy through your right side, your right nostril is larger, then you might be feeling a little bit anxious. So the alternate nostril breathing is an excellent way to just balance the system completely. It balances the hemispheres in your brain, and it just makes you feel so calm. This breath can be done anytime, and I do recommend doing this breath before you begin the 8 key breaths. So in mental physics, the count is inhaling for the count of 4, and then holding for the count of 16, and then we'll unplug the opposite nostril and exhale for the count of 8. Okay, so let's do this together. I'll give you just a quick second if you need to blow your nose and get into position here. Okay. So to begin, first the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. And now you'll plug your right nostril with your right thumb. The thumbs correspond to the lung meridians. That's why we use the thumbs. If you're driving in your car or just only have one hand, it is fine to do it like this. But if you have use of both hands, it's best to do it with your thumbs. So here we go. Plugging the right nostril. Inhaling for the count of 4. Hold for 16, 2, 3, 4. 13, 14, 15, 16. We unplug the right. Exhale for the count of 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now inhaling the same nostril 4. Hold for 16. And unplug the left. Exhale for 8. One more time. Inhale for 4. Hold for 16. You're not trying to force anything. These are gentle breaths. 16. Unplug. Exhale for 8. Last time. Inhale 4. Hold for 16. Unplug the left and exhale for 8. Hopefully that helped bring some balance and peace and calm to you right now. Okay, so the first of the 8 key breaths, there are a lot of additional breathwork exercises in the Science of Mental Physics, but for the purpose of this online class, we're just going to be working on the 8 key breaths. So the process of the breath work is actually it's a systematic series of breaths that will purge anything that's not serving you inside yourself, any emotions, any feelings, any old thoughts, patterns, behaviors, things that no longer serve you. We want to bring those up to the surface to be released so that we can have more space inside ourselves to bring in more light. And which brings me to one other thing I wanted to read to you. Oh yes, we already learned this about the light within us. So the light that exists within us can be activated and by these breaths. So the first breath is a purging breath, and there is no rush with this practice. I want you guys to take your time, especially if you haven't done this before. When in the initiate group course, which is the first series of 26 lessons, the spiritual lessons along with the 8 key breaths, Dingle may introduce the breaths, one at a time. So ideally, you would master one breath and then move on to the next. I'm going to teach them all to you, but if you're going to work on this on your own, maybe just work on the harmonic breath, and then this next breath, the memory developing breath that I'm going to teach you for a while until you move forward. It's your own spiritual practice, and like I said, it's a science of feeling inside yourself, finding the God self, God source energy within you, activating that, connecting with that. The memory developing breath is called that. We used to joke that it's, helps your memory because you're getting so much oxygen in there. But in reality, it is to help you to remember who you are and why you are here on the planet. What's your purpose? What purpose you came in with on the planet. Okay, So for the memory developing breath, the first breath, this one is the most involved. I always tell people who haven't done this, don't let this one scare you away because it is a little more involved than the rest. This one is done in 3 sets of 14 and a final triumphant 7. It activates the 49 fires in the body. If you'd like more information on that, you can email me or just let me know and I can get that to you. So I always liken this to those old-fashioned water pumps where you're pumping the pump, pumping it, and then when you let go after pumping a few times, the water starts to flow out. So it's kind of like our bodies are the water pump, and on the inhale, we're going to lean our head back, and then the exhale in mental physics is a sound like a CH sound. It's kind of tricky because remember I told you about the secret switch with your tongue on the back of your 2 front teeth. So when you're exhaling, the tongue kind of flops down a little bit in that breath. The exhale comes forcefully out, but you want to try to, your tongue wants to try to stay there. So once you get the mechanics down, it's going to be second nature. In the beginning, it's a little bit tricky to figure all of this out. So this is what the breath looks like when you're inhaling, and you want to be gentle. You don't want to hurt your neck. It's a nice and gentle breath. I'm going to go a little slower than Dingle actually goes while you're just beginning in this, so you can feel it fully and get used to it. So this is how it looks. So when you're breathing in, your stomach comes way out. Your stomach comes out because you're forcing that air all the way down into the belly, right? So the air is deep into the belly, and then the chest, then the throat, and then a big sniff at the top all the way. So you're filling your entire body, your entire lungs are expanded with your complete breath, okay? So I'll show you one more time. This is what it looks like. So we'll do that 14 times. Don't worry about counting. I'm going to count for you, and I'll let you know when we're on the last one, and then I'll say rest. And at that point, I want you to just go within yourself. Just be aware of any sensations inside yourself that you're feeling. You might get tingly on the top of your head. You might feel cold or hot or any number of sensations. I want you to just tune in to inside yourself and feel after any thoughts or feelings or sensations that you're having. Just watch, be a curious observer. What is this breath doing? Where is it going when I bring these copious amounts of oxygen and prana into my body? Okay, and so since we're not in a group together like in a room, and you have to monitor yourself with this breath work, just be cautious and conscious of your own body. If you feel like you're going to pass out, of course, you can open your eyes or sit down, put your head between your legs, but just be aware of yourself. This is a lot more oxygen and energy than a lot of us get on a regular basis. Okay, so for the memory developing breath, we're going to put our palms downward on the knees, and then when we're done with each of the 8 key breaths, immediately after, there will be an affirmation. Well, you'll turn your palms upward and sit quietly for the affirmation. Okay? So if anybody has any questions, you can go ahead and ask. Otherwise, we'll just get started. Okay. Here we go. Palms facing downward, pulling that secret switch. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale, and the head comes up, up, up. One more. Resting and watching. Feeling any little feeling inside yourself. And now 2 more 7s all together. We exhale. And up. Last one. Take a deep breath and relax the body and rest. Relax the shoulders, the stomach. And now 2 more 7s. We exhale. And up. Last one. Relaxing. Spine is straight. Body is relaxed. Okay. And now for our final triumphant 7. So giving it everything you've got. Together we exhale. And up. Up. Last one. And now relaxing the body, keeping your eyes closed, getting ready for the affirmation. And now I imagine that great light at the top of my head. The top of my head is heavy and relaxed. The forehead is heavy, the eyes are relaxed. The muscles of the face are withdrawn. No pressure on the teeth. The arms and hands are very heavy. But oh, how happy I feel. I feel happy all over, particularly in my beautiful face. My face is bathed in smiles. My whole body is bathed in the blushes of my smiles. I feel a gentle pressure from within, outward. And that gentle pressure is taking away all little lines of care, worry, trouble, fear, anything negative. I feel happy all over. And now I bring the light down. The chest is relaxed, the abdomen falls down. And the light comes down, down, down to the tips of my toes. And now I imagine that great light at the back of my neck. I'm looking down over my beautiful spine. It seems as though I'm looking at a wonderful waterfall with the sunshine playing on it. So that I see a countless number of tiny specks of iridescent light. 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 And I know my whole body to be full of light. If thine eye be single, the single eye, the creative eye, the eternal eye, the eye of my imagination, the eye that I am now using. If thine eye be single, the whole body shall be full of light. And I know that every cell in that countless, countless number of cells in my body is a lamp, a light, a torch, bringing to me the light of the divine wisdom within me. The light being in perfect correspondence with the flame. As the flame is in perfect correspondence with the fire that is in the center of centers of centers of centers of my inmost being. The fire of divine love within me. Within me. And so feeling heavy, imagining that I'm looking upward to the top of my head, giving thanks, imagining that great golden, golden shower of light going out in all directions. The secret of the golden flower. Slowly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping, sweeping sigh. I lock it up. I swallow. I make it my own as I take another little breath and a quick sigh. Okay. Hopefully you're feeling pretty good. We're going to move on into the second breath, which is called the revitalizing breath. And from here on out, the breaths are done standing with the heels touching. The positions are fairly similar for all of the breaths. So what we want to do is we want to have our knees snapped back. Our buttocks are completely tight. So your body is pulled up as tall as you can be. The head is pulling upward toward the sky. as you're actually feeling yourself grounded and rooted in the earth below you. Okay, so it's a sensation of like this, pulling upward, and also you're going to be pulling downward on the fingertips. So shoulders are back and down, your head and neck is always loose, but you're pulling downward on the fingertips. Everything is tight. One of the trickiest things when you're learning these breaths is on the inhale, your body kind of wants to relax, and the same thing on the exhale. When you're exhaling out, your body kind of wants to go along with it. But what I want you to focus on today is as you're inhaling all the way in, like I said, big deep belly breath into the chest, into the throat, big sniff. You want to keep that tension in your body all the way through the inhale. And then as you're exhaling, same thing, keeping the tension. As you're squeezing all the old air out of your body, you're squeezing every last drop out. And then a little breath and relaxing down. And then you'll relax for the affirmation. Okay, so the revitalizing breath is very simple. It's just breathing in, retaining the breath, and standing there, holding your breath and your tension in your body. Okay, so here we go. Shoulders back and down, head and neck are loose. The position, pulling downward on the fingertips, and now pulling that secret switch, back of the teeth. First, the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now, all together we exhale. Squeezing all that old air out. And now we're bringing in life, light, breathing into the belly all the way in, big sniff at the top. Holding that tension in the body, holding that breath in your body. I am the master of my body. Pulling downward on the fingertips. Now, no dropping of the head or the neck, maintaining that tension in the body. I am the master of my body. Now, all together we exhale. Keeping that tension all the way through. A little breath. And relaxing entirely. Staying standing with your eyes closed for the affirmation. And now relaxing completely, coming right down. Relaxing entirely. We think of and we feel for the hidden meaning, the inner meaning of these sublimely simple words. I am whole. Whole. Nothing is lacking. Nothing can be added. I am whole. I am perfect. Perfect as the Father in heaven within me is perfect. I am perfect. I am strong. Strong. I am powerful, full of power. Every cell in my whole body is a power plant working for me. I am powerful, full of power. I am loving. Loving. I am the substance of the universe in action. I am love moving. I am loving. I am harmonious. In harmony, balance, poise, equilibrium. I am in harmony with the laws of this universe. I am harmonious. I am rich. Rich. I draw my supply from the source of all supply. I am rich. I am young. Young. I am life's first reflection. I am youth, and I imagine innumerable streams of living light coursing downward in my body. I am youth. I am happy, happy. I am the force that propels the fluids of life. I am happy. I feel happy all over. I look happy. If I cannot feel happy, I deliberately laugh and see the changed emotional effect within me. I am happy. And so looking upward to the top of my head and feeling happy, giving thanks, imagining that great golden shower of light going out in all directions. Slowly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. Okay, we're going to move right on into the third breath, which is the inspirational breath. Again, the body is standing tall, heels are together, getting into position. Everything is tight. I'm going to show you how this breath goes. So the inspirational breath, as we're inhaling, as we're bringing the air into our body, at the same time, we're bringing our arms up like this, about this speed, not too fast, all the way up. At the culmination of the breath at the top, big sniff, we're going to do right thumb under the left, forming a triangle at the top of our head. This is the triangle of manifestation. So Dingle taught it success to mental physics, and then, success to whatever you're creating in your own life. This happens very quickly. And then it'll be backs of the hands together and exhaling in 4 parts. Again, keeping all that tension. Arms are rigid, pulling downward on the fingertips, and then a little breath and relaxing completely. And stay standing for the affirmation after this one. Okay, so here we go. The inspirational breath, the third breath. Heels touching, pulling that secret switch. Position, shoulders back and down. Everything is tight. First, the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now, all together we exhale. Squeezing all that old air out. And now the breath comes naturally in, all the way in, as we're rising our arms up, breathing in, all the way up. Big sniff at the top, right thumb under the left. Success to mental physics. Success to you. Backs of the hands together, exhaling in 4 parts. Keeping that tension. Now a little breath and relaxing completely for the affirmation. Remembering that the science of mental physics is a science of feeling, a science of the soul. In this breath, we feel into the depths of our own being. And now relaxing entirely, coming right down, relaxing. The body is heavy. You are happy. You are relaxed. I thank thee, Lord, for my body, the temple of the living God, the temple of the God that lives within me, that is alive within me. My body, the transcendently beautiful and the infinitely intricate and the most gloriously accurate instrument in this universe. My body, the temple of the living God, the temple of the God that lives within me, within me. I stand in reverence. I stand in adoration. I stand in veneration before the wisdom pent up in the very substance of my body. And I pledge myself, I vow that nothing that I shall eat or drink, or nothing that I shall do or say or think shall injure or abuse this temple of the living God, my body. And so feeling happy and looking upward to the top of my head, giving thanks, giving thanks, giving thanks. Imagining that great golden shower of light going out in all directions. Slowly, ever so tenderly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. And now I take another little breath and a quick sigh. Does anyone have any questions or anything so far? Okay, guys, we'll move into the fourth breath then. The fourth breath is called the perfection breath. And again, it's the same positioning, except when we get ready for this breath, we're going to be holding our arms out in front of us like this. And when we are holding our breath, when we're retaining our breath with our body posture rigid, we're going to make 3 swings like this, making our body into the shape of a cross. Okay, so swing number 1, nice and gentle. Swing number 2, very controlled movement. Swing number 3, just like that, and arms at the sides, and exhale, keeping that tension. Okay, the fourth breath, the perfection breath. After this one, if you'd like to sit down for the meditation, that's totally fine. We get ready. Everything is snapped back. Buttocks are as tight as they can be. Knees snapped back. Heels are touching. Pulling downward on the fingertips. And now pulling that secret switch. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now we exhale together. Position. Inhaling all the way into the deep belly, into the chest, big sniff at the top. And swing number 1. Swing number 2. Swing number 3. Arms at the sides, keeping that tension. We exhale. Relaxing the body completely, relaxing right down, preparing yourself for the affirmation. And relaxing right down, relaxing entirely. As I prepare myself to think the greatest thought I shall ever be able to think. Whatever the creator is, I am. Differentiated from all other life forms in this universe. I am the creator in human form. The creator is right here, right in the heart of me, right in the mind of me, right in the being of me, right in the substance of me. Reveal thyself, O Lord of my life, Lord of the eternal, Thou that art the same yesterday, today, tomorrow, forever, reveal thyself. Come, I wait. I listen. I am still. I watch within me. And now I will to see the Creator at work within the temple. And so, feeling happy, upward, giving thanks, giving thanks, giving thanks, imagining that great golden shower of light going out in all directions. Slowly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, deep sigh. Now I lock it up. I take another little breath and a quick sigh. Hopefully you're feeling great and energized, waking up your mind and body. The next breath, the fifth breath, is called the vibromagnetic breath. And this one is same position. Everything is tight. Give myself enough room here. Make sure you have some space around you. The vibromagnetic breath, once we're holding our breath, we're retaining the breath, and our positioning is rigid as it always is. We're going to be swinging our arms around like this, palms facing each other all the way around. Nice and controlled movements. So you're not really swinging your body. You're keeping your body tight and straight, swinging your arms all the way around 3 times. And then after this, if you'd like to stand or sit for the meditation, whichever you prefer. Okay, the vibromagnetic breath, the fifth breath. Heels are touching. Posture, everything is straight. Make sure your shoulders are back and down, and your head and neck is always loose. Pulling down on the fingertips. Tightening the buttocks. Pulling the secret switch. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Together we exhale. Squeezing all that old air out. And now we're inhaling deep into the belly, all the way in, all the way up. Big sniff. And swing number 1. Not too fast. Swing number 2. Making sure your buttocks are still tight. Swing number 3. Arms at the sides. We exhale. And we take a little breath and just relax the body as we prepare for the affirmation. And so relaxing the whole body, coming right down, relaxing entirely. Coming down, down. That liquid feeling in the body, as if innumerable streams of living light are coursing downward in your body. As I prepare myself to think of the loveliest thing I have ever known. I am thinking of the loveliest thing I have ever known. Here it comes before my mind, that beautiful picture, perhaps from the long ago, or perhaps from the far away. But there it stands, perfectly clearly delineated before my mind, as if it happened but a moment ago. I thank thee, Lord, law of life, for my memory. I thank thee that I am able to bring back from the vault of the past any beautiful thing that is in my memory. No idea of negation of whatsoever kind. No idea of disease, old age, disappointment, doubt, failure, death. Nothing shall enter my memory but that which is in unison with all good and my own very highest conception of truth. And now I will that that picture shall be lost again in the absorption of my being. I see the whole conduct of man. I see my whole conduct, And so I will that that loveliest thing that I have ever known shall be lost again in the absorption of my being. And so feeling happy, looking upward to the top of my head, giving thanks, giving thanks, giving thanks. Slowly I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping, sweeping sigh. And now I take another little breath and I wake up quietly. Okay. For the sixth breath, this is called the cleansing breath. It's very similar to the last we just did, except that this time, when we start, we want to hold our left hand with our right hand and pull downward. So as you can see, when I make my arms straight, it straightens my spine. Okay? So when we unlock and we do our swings around, this time our palms are facing downward. Swinging all the way around, and then when we come to the back, we touch our thumbs. It kind of forms a little triangle back here. We touch, discharge the electrical connection. Okay, so so it's just like this, all the way around, and then touch. Again, swing number 2. We do this 3 times, just like the 5th breath. So this is the 6th cleansing breath. Okay, we get ready. Heels touching, position. Everything is tight. Pulling that secret switch. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. And now we get ready. Holding your left hand in your right, straightening your spine. It's a little bit trickier to get a full breath this way. Do your very best. Okay. Let's think the thought again. First the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale. Keeping that tension in the body, you're breathing all the way into the belly, all the way up into the chest, big sniff at the top. We unlock and swing number 1, touching our thumbs behind us. Swing number 2, touch. Swing number 3, we touch. Arms at the sides, keeping that tension. We exhale. And now staying standing for the affirmation. The success of this breath, actually the success of all breaths, depends upon your ability to relax completely afterward. So we're relaxing entirely, coming right down, down to the soles of our feet. And now I imagine a great heat at the base of my spine, a great heat. And I imagine that it's coming up. It's coming up. And now I imagine that great light that comes from the flame, it comes from the fire that gives the heat. And I see this light rising up. And I imagine a peacock feather of gold in my spine as I see the light coming up and out. It seems to strike upon the surface of my body, up and out. It seems to go beyond my body. And now, I think of the top of my head, and I see my whole body full of light. The light of the divine wisdom that is in every living thing. And so seeing my whole body full of light, the light of the divine wisdom that is in every living thing. Slowly, feeling happy, not thinking that I am happy only, but feeling happy. Looking upward to the top of my head, giving thanks. Imagining that great golden light going out in all directions. Slowly and tenderly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. And now gratefully, reverently, I take another little breath and a quick sigh. And I wake up quietly. Okay, we'll get right on into the 7th breath, which is called the Grand Rejuvenation Breath. This one is done in 2 parts. The hands are resting on the hip bones, so they're just like right under the rib cage, resting on the hips. The elbows are pulled as far forward as you can possibly get them. It's kind of an awkward position. Heels are touching, as with all the breaths. The Grand Rejuvenation Breath, we'll breathe in, just like we usually do, and when we're retaining our breath, we're going to drop the head forward and back. We do this 3 times, forward and back, forward and back. And then we stand upright and we exhale all our air out, squeezing all the old air out. And with no air in our body, we're going to bring the head forward, kind of pulling downward on the head and back, keeping our elbows forward, forward and back. We do this 3 times. Even after all these years of doing it, usually about here, I'm just craving a breath so bad, I'll usually start to breathe in on my way up. And then slowly drop the hands just like that. So again, reminder, monitor yourselves during this breath work. Breath work is very powerful work. And we generally don't get this much oxygen at any given time. And I always remember when I first started doing the breath work, I would say for the first couple of years, it made me hyper aware of how often I hold my breath. I'm getting a little better at it now after all these years, but it made me really aware of how often I hold my breath. And really, whenever you change your breathing, you change your entire state of being. The breath is the key. Okay, so for the seventh breath, the grand rejuvenation breath, here we go. Position, arms resting on the hip bones, elbows pulled forward, pulling that secret switch, placing your tongue behind your two front teeth. Everything is tight, buttocks are tight. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale. Okay, now keeping that tension, we're inhaling deep into the belly, all the way into the chest, bringing in light and life all the way up. And the head comes forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Now we stand upright. We exhale all that old air out completely, squeezing it all the way out of the stomach. And then we bring the body forward, pulling on the head, and back, forward, nice and controlled, and back, forward, and inhaling as you come up, and then relaxing completely. You can stand or sit for the affirmation, whatever you prefer. Relaxing completely, letting the entire body come down, relaxing, feeling heavy all over and happy, feeling happy and heavy. I am youth, youth. I see before me a picture of my idealized self. I see my luxuriant hair, my sparkling eyes, that beautiful, beautiful face, completely unlined and happy. Rounded neck, strong arms and hands. And now I come down over that beautiful being. I thank thee, Lord. I thank thee for the truth of my being. I am youth, glorious, radiant, wondrous youth, vivacious youth, vibrant youth, fearless youth, full of courage and strength, power. I am youth. Unconquerable youth, fearless youth. I thought my body wore out and grew old, but now I know, as I stand gratefully in the presence, that I am being renewed. New cells are being made for me. I am being renewed. I sing and I shout. I sing the song of conquest. There is no age for me. No decay, no disease, no death. I am free, free. Free from all negation of my own mind. Free from old age. I am youth, youth forevermore. And so I will to know the truth of my being. I am youth. And so feeling happy, Looking upward to the top of my head, giving thanks. Slowly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. And now I lock it up, I swallow as I take another little breath and a quick sigh. And I wake up younger. Okay, we'll move on into the final 8th breath, your own spiritual breath. This is the only one done with the feet apart. Hope you can see me. Their feet are about hip width apart. The position is the same as the grand rejuvenation breath, where we're resting our hands on our hips, pulling the elbows forward. When we're breathing in, when we're retaining our air, I'm going to say to the right, and we're going to lean to the right and see how my toes are touching, but my left heel is off the ground. And then we go to the left, and then I lift up my right heel to the right. So I think it'll be opposite for you guys, but we start on the right to the left. We go three on each side. And then we can stay standing for the affirmation. Okay, here we go. Position. Feet hip width apart. Pulling forward with the elbows. Everything is tight. The head and neck is loose. Pulling that secret switch. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale. Squeezing it all out. Now as we're breathing in deep into our belly, we want to pull our elbows forward, breathing all the way in, imagining light, life, prana coming into your body. Big sniff. And to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. We come to the center, we exhale. And we slowly drop the hands for the affirmation, relaxing right down. And now I'm thinking upward to the top of my head. I'm thinking joy, joy, joy. And now together we send it out. We embrace all classes. I embrace all in mental physics wherever they may be. I embrace this city. I embrace this state. And now I watch as I see those great waves of light rolling out of their own nature. I embrace the country. I embrace the whole world. I embrace the whole human race. And now, with the light of divine wisdom within me, with my love, with my joy, with my life, I embrace every living thing. And now I stand fast, lest the light be too great for me as it returns to me by that mystic fourfold law, not from the one point from which I sent it, but from all the points. It's coming back, back, nearer, nearer, nearer. And now it embraces me. It embosoms me. It overwhelms me. The light of the divine wisdom, that love, that joy, that life that comes to me from every living thing, so that I know my whole body, this wide universe, to be full of light. Light. And now I will to charge every cell of my physical body with the light of the divine wisdom, that love, that joy, that life that comes to me from every living thing, as feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward. Slowly I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. I lock it up, I swallow, as I take another little breath and a quick sigh. And I wake up quietly. I hope you guys are feeling really great today. I'm so happy you were able to come to the class. There's just a couple more things I wanted to do before we go, and I'll go through those, and then if you guys have any questions, we can ask and answer those after. One of the components of the science of mental physics, in addition to the breath work, is affirmations. And knowing that we are the creative spirit embodied, it stands to reason that our thoughts and our words are very powerful. So what we declare in the I am statements, when we say the 9 positives, I am whole, I am perfect, I am strong, we are affirming, we are aligning ourselves with that creator energy in the I am statement. I think in the Bible, I think Jesus said when he said I am, he meant that means I will be whatever you need me to be. So using those words, using the creative word wisely, is something that would behoove us all, especially in today's day and age. Be kind and use the creative word wisely. So knowing that we build into our consciousness those things that we declare, I'm going to ask that you guys repeat after me in firm and positive tones. Try to imagine, I'm going to say a statement and I want you to say it yourself, and imagine your own higher consciousness absorbing the truth of these statements. Okay, here we go. I am eternal life. I am eternal love. I am truth. I am peace, and peace dwells in me. I am power. I am wisdom. I am justice. I am that I am. I question not the divine love and wisdom and justice. I give thanks for all that ever was. I give thanks for all that is. And I give thanks for all that ever will be. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be blissful. And may all beings be happy. And now as we go, the 7-fold peace chant, starting with a triangle right here. Peace. 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 I hope you're all feeling wonderful. I really appreciate you showing up today. Does anyone have any questions at all about what we practiced? Or you can always contact me outside of here too and ask me anything you need, or if you're looking for any documents or anything like that, any information, I can help you. And I'm doing this, I'm set up to go through the end of May every Wednesday at 11, if you want to come back on and practice. And I'll probably just keep going after that. I'm going to try to get a regular practice going, and I hope to see you guys all there. Thanks so much for coming. If anyone doesn't have any questions, I think we'll end it there. Need my glasses. Are we all good? Thanks, Tony. Appreciate you being here. All right. And Phoenix and Sylvia, really nice to meet you. Lee, thank you for attending. And I'll be here again 11 o'clock next Wednesday if you want to join me. Oh, let me look at the chat. I see some chats here. Oh, that's great. Thank you, guys. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Nothing beats powerful breath work, right? Okay, guys, I'm going to end the meeting. See you next week. Bye-bye.